What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, it's the 13th of May today. 10 hours, 30 minutes left in the day. We're at about 1.77 cents right now, with a low on the day of 1.7 cents. You guys, I think we did it. I think that is the low. I think we have, and it's not the low, right? This was the low, but this is the higher low. I think that we're there. I think if we wanted to go lower, we would have done it already. I don't know if we're going to get another chance to go lower. I don't know. Time will tell. OnyxCoin, generally speaking, whenever it hits its lows, it likes to move down slowly, and then once it finds its lows, it likes to pick up the pace. I feel like we picked up the pace here, and it just didn't go anywhere. Now you've got some big green candles in your face with no volume to back them up, really. But you don't need volume here. You don't really need volume until you're breaking out. So just retracing doesn't need volume. All we're doing at the moment, all we're at the moment, is just a lower high in this range. So I'm not too excited. But there is reason to believe that this could have been the low and that we are ready to move higher. The 4-hour RSI here, getting overbought, coming down like this. Nice little trail all the way down, very consistent. Down to the oversold zone. This is the area that we bounced from last time. We bounced in this area. We could go in the oversold zone too. But I think oftentimes when you're in this area here, right near the zone, and you bounce and you go above the 40, that's a very bullish sign. If you bounce and you go above the 50, that's a very bullish sign. If you bounce and you're above the 60, there's no denying at that point that that's the low. There's a little bit of possibility in denying that it's the low, even if we go above the 50 here. And I'm kind of curious to see if we do, because we are right here at a resistance point within this trend. But I wouldn't be too heartbroken if we did go lower, right? I mean, we could still go to 1.65 cents and be fine. Even if we went a little bit lower, it's fine. It puts off the movement up by a little bit of time. But that's all it is, right? We're still going to the same area and beyond, nonetheless, right? Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, 1 hour RSI, bouncing off the oversold area, overbought, oversold, bouncing right off of it there, having a slight dip into the oversold zone, ripping all the way up through the 40, through the 50, and now potentially through the 60. That'd be very validating to the idea that this is the low and that we are ready to move up higher, you guys. But time will tell. We'll see. Whenever we break out of this, whenever we get above about, I would say, probably like 1.8 cents, it would be nice to see volume coming in. As we progress higher, it would be nice to see volume coming in. We could reject here, maybe find a higher low and still come in. We could reject here and find a lower low. So don't get your hopes up too much, and don't be dissatisfied or heartbroken if we do see lower lows relative to this. It's fine, okay? Soon enough, though, whether today's the day or tomorrow's the day, we are going to find our low, and we're going to start building out of this by the end of this week. I think that we will be at dramatically, well, maybe not dramatically, maybe dramatic, I don't know. By the end of this week, I'm expecting that we'll see higher prices, probably above 2 cents, right? Weekly aspect here, looking at this, we've got bull flags within bull flags. I think it's very obvious that here you've got a nice flagpole. That's a flag there, right? Little bull flag there. I'm not drawing it the best, but you can kind of see it right there, right? This one here is also a flag. Absolutely, that's a flag. And within this flag, within the flag here, if we look at the relative high to the relative low, you've actually gone up, found resistance right at the golden ratio, found support at the 382, and now you're probably going to move up higher. This is a very classic kind of behavior here, right? Golden ratio to the 0.5 and then move up, golden ratio to the 382 and then move up. Either way, that's actually very, very common. So the fact that we didn't break below the 382, I think, is a good sign. Now what we're looking for is to get above this daily closing high up here at about 2.12 cents. Really, I just want to see us get above the 236, which I think from a low to a high, this is that 236, yes. 2.02 cents. Once we get above there, I think that we're fine. But this is a really good structure within this fib here. I think that this does validate the idea that we don't go below this low and that we really are going to go higher. We just gotta do that. We just gotta move higher. 2 days, 11 hours left in this 3-day time frame. 10 hours, 26 minutes left in this daily time frame here. It's looking like the low, guys. I really do think that we're going to move up higher. When we do move higher, we've got this bull flag here, the bull flag within the bull flag, and the measure move would call for the price to go to about 5.2 cents. These measure moves are just ideas. You can stop below the measure move, which is right here, right? You can stop just below it. You can stop dramatically below it. You could stop dramatically above it, or maybe just above it, or just somewhere in this area nonetheless. But I do believe that OnyxCoin XCN right now is on a path higher to 5 cents and beyond, right? High to low here. I mean, hell, man. If we go here looking at this fib too, there's a case to be made that if we hit 5.2 cents, more likely we'd stop at 4.7 cents actually. If we actually hit 5.2 cents, it'd be more likely that we go above 5.5 cents. We see 5.7 cents. So my expectation would be leaning toward the bullish effect that this next move is actually stronger than this last move, right? From a low to a high, that's your measure move. And the measure move here, if we put it at the base, that measure move takes you, if it'll let me, takes you just, nope, that's not what I meant to do. Why did it do that? I want that one. Takes you just below the 2272. So if we saw the same movement as this last move, it would take us just below the 2272. My perspective is we will see a larger move than the last move. We'll probably go just above the 2272. It'll be very similar. But I think we'll stop around 5.7 cents, something above 5.5 cents. That's the expectation here probably by the end of this month of May. Going into June, we'll pursue higher prices. Maybe even by the end of May, we'll pursue higher prices. But going into June, we'll pursue prices that are at 15 cents, 26 cents, 32 cents, stuff like that. You know, from the current price. What is that? Am I measuring? I'm not measuring from the right place. I'm like, when did our rate of growth go up so much? Right there. The expectation is that we see something on the lines of a 14x from here to an 18x from here. And at a bare minimum, something on the lines of like an 8 to a 9x, right? I was trying to be as pessimistic as I could at the end of my last video for OnyxCoin, and as pessimistic as I could be was still about a 4.5x from here. So even a 4.5x would be sad. After all this, I only get a 4.5x. That'd actually be really sad. But even that, you know, we can wipe away our tears with some Benjamins. We'll be fine, man. I highly doubt that we stop here. I'm not talking about this because I secretly believe this is going to happen. I would be absolutely shocked if we stopped anywhere less than 26 cents. We've done the math enough times. It makes sense through various means that we would stop at 26 cents by the end of June, if not early July. Timing is not the easiest thing to get. I'll give you that, but I do believe that we're going to go there. But time will tell. You know, if we're not up at 5 cents, 5.5 cents by the end of this month, we're still down here, then sure, things might have to change, but I don't think that's going to happen. But time will tell. I got nothing else for you guys. 1.78 cents now, 10 hours, 23 minutes left in the day. I think this is a great time to buy. I genuinely think this is a great time to buy. I actually made a post on my Facebook. Not that any of you guys have my Facebook. I don't give that. That's like my personal public life, not my public life, right? That's just like people who know me physically or that I've met. I told people, I made a post on Facebook saying that OnyxCoin is my biggest bag, and I think that it's a good purchase right now, and it's about to go up. You know, I made a whole big deal about it doing a 14x. I'm pretty confident on it. I'm not saying this because like who cares about talking about what you do on Facebook, but I feel like it's personal, right? You don't. I don't know. It's at least for me, it's more personal on Facebook. So whenever I'm telling you this, I'm just saying that I'm literally recommending this coin to people who I know personally in the real world, right? Because I think it's going to be fantastic. I don't talk about too many coins on there, man, but this is one that I'm talking about, and I've talked about it recently because I do think it's crunch time. I do think it's at a great area to buy. I do believe that over the weeks to come, we're going to see some fantastic growth. And it all starts here, man. Here we are at 1.77 cents, but not for long. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. If we go lower, don't be scared. We still could. It's still very possible. I doubt it, but it's very possible that OnyxCoin could drop to 1.4 cents to 1.5 cents, somewhere in this area, right? So don't be scared if we do. We're still going to the same targets. Everything's still happening. It's just instead of it happening right now, it's happening then. You know what I mean? Like that's all it is. But I don't think that we're going to do that, but just be aware. If we go lower, it's not a problem. It's really not a problem. And just because we go lower doesn't mean that we go lower in this low. I'm very confident that this is the low. I'm absolutely very confident it's the low. I'm just saying this stuff because if it happens, I don't want people to panic. So I'll tell you what's not going to happen. I'm super confident this is the low. If we drop here, I'm not selling. I'm just buying more. You know what I mean? That's all that's happening. So I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.